What's up, y'all? This is your girl. Seeing it all knowing on YouTube and the knowing on Facebook. I know you've been waiting for me. I had a coughing spell. I guess I grabbed another mother with Tia. And so I had to call somebody about the electricity again. He's supposed to be coming tomorrow. What did he say we're coming, Tia? Is tomorrow Saturday? No, he's coming. He's coming Saturday. Yeah, he's coming Saturday. You know, I got to be ready for him. I'm not worried. Tia gonna wake me up before she go to work. And I'm gonna be fully loaded. Oh, did I say that? Fully dressed, I meant. My God. But anyway, he should be trusted. Somebody, God, told me about him. But anyway, y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. I'm going to need a little grace because your girl ain't feeling good, okay? But I'm here. Hey, Miss Jean, I knew you weren't going to forget me. Hey, Miss Sharon, I knew you and Miss Teresa wasn't. As I was coming on, I had a serious coughing spell. So I had to stop, listen to Tia fuss, take the meds, take the cough syrup, and go get the cough drops. And in the process of that, I forgot to call the electricity man. And I asked Tia to tell me everything 100 times. Tia got her own profession. And Tia has been up at night helping me. She don't think I appreciate it, but I honestly do. Let's get into the conversation, y'all. If you see the red that says live, your girl live. And hit that subscribe button. Join the family. Yeah, what's going on over there? What's going on in Mississippi? I'm gonna lie to you. You talking to me? Huh? What's wrong? I don't know what Tia's saying. All right, y'all, here we go. Here we go. Let me tell y'all about it. Have y'all heard about it? Is Miss Rhonda Bowman on here? Miss Rhonda, let me see if you're on here. Oh, y'all, y'all. Y'all look. Don't he look scary? Y'all see him? A Texas middle school teacher is facing serious allegation charges of sexually assaulting multiple students. Reports Law and Order. His name is Reginald Van Long. He's 27 years old. He's accused of engaging in sexual activities with at least 5 students, including, wait for it, clamming in their windows. Y'all go, Miss Bowman. Miss Bowman, you read this article, baby? Jill sent it to me. Okay, and clamming it through the window of a student's bedroom and using the back seat of his car. Yeah. Y'all look at him. Who these people out here raising our kids? Let's continue. The charges against him include sexual assault of a child, online solicitation, I see you, Miss Rhonda, baby, of a minor, improper relationships with a student. I see you, Miss Rhonda. I see you. Y'all excuse me. The investigation began, Miss Joanne, began when a witness reported that several students had come forth. Yes, ma'am, Miss Teresa. Had come forth with allegations of inappropriate comments made by Long on social media. One student detailed a disturbing encounter, stating that Long drove to her house and they made love. This is sick. This is so sick. Yes, I read that horrible story. Let me say that again. One student detailed a disturbing encounter, stating that Long drove to her house and they made love. It'll make you throw up, okay? And engaged in sexual activities in the back seat of his car. That's what the affidavit said, okay? Another student reported that Long had climbed through her window. This 27-year-old man, that's a middle school teacher, climbed through this little girl window. Let's continue. Very sick Miss House. You know, Tia had told me, read this story. She sent it to me earlier, but I wasn't feeling good. And Tia said, Doc, did you read it? And I said, Tia, I read the first paragraph. I couldn't even get through it because I was through a coughing spell. I said, I know this the money. But when I started coughing tonight, Tia said, just get off and say your voice. I said, I got to tell the squad this. Another student reported that he climbed through her bedroom window. During an interview with detectives, he admitted to engaging in sexual acts with the first student and sending explicit messages to others. He is currently in custody in Smith County Jail, and his bond is set at $400,000. Let's talk about it. First of all, what do you think? What do y'all think? This happening too much. It's sickening. I'm questioning and asking myself, why are these men not dealing with women of age? Yes, ma'am, Miss Yates. That Miss Yates, did you see him, baby? Look, baby. You see him? You know what, Miss Tammy? Let me tell y'all. When somebody violates, I want y'all to listen. Our kids. Because it takes a village. I don't care if you don't have biological children. They're all our children. And when these things happen to these kids, they're never right. I'm sorry they aren't. Yeah, Tia knows to make homemade chicken noodle as well as myself. She said she was going to make some, but Tia has been extremely busy, Miss Bowman. But yeah, Tia knows how to make it. Sickening, sorry, human. All these women walking here, and he has to mess with kids. Yes, he looks like a thug, not a teacher. That's the same thing I said. It's sick. And even though people like to say, well, dog, they can go in extensive counseling if somebody messes with your psyche when you're at a very, very early age. What can we really do? I'm going to wait for that. Because I'm going to be honest. A lot of people don't think we got feelings. We carry this home with us. You carry it home with you. And when you see stuff like this, it almost tears you apart. I told Tia that. When Tia said, I didn't think you got emotion. We all got emotions. We just got to put them aside. But I wonder why parents are not recognizing something is going on with their kids. Some people are, Miss Teresa, you're right. But, I don't know if I ever told you all this. I may have said it on Facebook. But y'all know I love elderly people. I love them. Tia loves them. Elderly people have a type of aura about them, I'm going to say, that they can look at you and tell whether or not you're sexually active. I used to hear people say that, and I never believed them. Never. I always thought it was a myth. But one day, the first boyfriend that I had, I married him. I heard my aunt say, they didn't even know I was listening. I heard my aunt tell my mother, she ain't sexually active yet. And my mother asked my aunt, y'all know this Auntie Betty. She asked my aunt, and Auntie Betty didn't have any kids. She said, how do you know? And she told my mother, I want you to look how she walking. And that was behind, I was going into an apartment store called Ally. You know if y'all ever heard of it. It was an Ally. And what was the other store, Taylor? TJ Friday or something? Because I think they had them up in your area. Because there weren't many down here. But we would go to those two department stores. I would tell you shops, but you wouldn't know the shops. But these are department stores. And I used to love to go in that TGI store. And I heard my aunt tell my mother, I want you to look at the way the walk going. And I never turned around because I didn't want to know I heard him. And so my mother said, I see that. She said, that's the indication she's sexually active. Our baby are not yet. I didn't say anything. Right? Old folks say you got a different, that's right, Miss Yates. I didn't say anything, Miss Jean said right, because my mother was there. But the next time I got with my Auntie Betty, I told her I heard the conversation. And my Auntie Betty said, was I right? And it was a friend of mine who was with us. She said, is she sexually active? And I said, yes. I said, but how did you know that, Auntie Betty? She said, because of the different walks. And she said, nobody touched you yet. She told me that. And I thought my aunt was some type of God or something just to know that. But as I got around other older people, even now, they can tell, I'm sorry. I don't know what about no women. But I tell Till all the time, they would have a wealth of knowledge. And I told her about this lady. She was 93 years old. She made me a sass. And I had got this bad. And I didn't want to go in the hospital. And I knew that's where I was headed. Miss Jean said, true. And my mama called her and asked her, did she have any? And she told my mother she did. She said, what, your baby asthma don't flat up? And my mother said, she ain't no baby. She had all been in state now. She said, come by tomorrow evening. I have a song. I told Tia, it looks like that vapor stuff Tia have, but it's thicker. And I used to see my mama take a spoon and dip it out. And my mother would always get it warm, real warm. And my mother would take her hands and rub it all over my chest, down around my breast, and up under my feet. And I guess it felt funny because I wear socks. A lot of people don't wear socks to bed. I do have to have on socks. But it felt funny being up under my feet. But when I tell you, all the congestion and stuff was in my chest, that next morning, I was coughing it up and everything. My mama called my aunt. She said, what I do? My baby coughing it up. She blowing her nose and everything. She said, you got a lemon? My mama said, yeah. We're at a store. Yes, ma'am, Miss Sammy. And she told my mama to go get that lemon. She said, but I want you to rub it first to get it firm. She said, I want you to cut that lemon in half. Put a peppermint and a cough drop if you got it. And make her suck it. And it's just going to keep coming. Y'all, I thought that was the craziest thing I had heard in my whole life. But that very day, I never, ever questioned another old person. Never. I don't know what it was about those home remedies, but they worked. I told Tia they used to have some type of medicine. It was so nasty. We sold it in our grocery store. It was 666, but it was some type of medicine. It was the most horrible thing you ever want to have. When that cold get up there, I could hear my mama telling them, I can't get that cold out my baby chest. I can't get it out. It gotta come out. You hear how it rattling. Again, this time I was younger. They had no idea I had asthma, but I inherited it from my father. And my father told my mother, he said, I'm going to take her right here to my uncle. I don't know what white handkerchiefs and smoke has to do with one or another. The guy, which was my daddy's uncle, didn't let you see what was in that pie. But he told my dad to hold me over on the pie. And I sniffed whatever in the pie. And I went to coughing. And they called my dad a brother. He said, brother, hit her in the back. Right there. And it's going to come up. My father hit me in the back. All the cold came up. I can't explain it. And I don't know it. But I told Till, I said, Till, them old folk knew what they were talking about. And Till agreed. Now, I'm not sure what is going on now with medication. But when you did what they told you to do, you got better. It just did. And I always thought about the wisdom and the knowledge they had. I said all that to say this. I don't know about these children, mother. I don't even know about this guy. Don't know how he grew up. Don't know how he didn't grow up. But one thing I did know, that if we were being messed with at whatever age, my aunt would have known it. My aunt could tell you when everybody had sex. She could tell you. And I remember my aunt telling me, you may not think he a good man, but he ain't never touched you, and he still wants you. Again, when you're young, you're not listening to that stuff. But when you get old and wiser, you applaud those old folk. When my students tell me they don't like elderly people, it do something on the inside to me. It really does. Because that's where our foundation comes from. I'm not saying Miss Jean is old. But when I went to Mama Tracy family reunion, and me and Miss Jean stayed in the Airbnb together. Miss Jean will tell you, when I start feeling bad, Miss Jean got into action. She'll tell you. When I talk to my mama and my sister on the phone, the one ain't with us, that's the oldest one, Miss Jean. I think that's the first one Miss Jean talked to for a few minutes. She went back and told my mama, baby, all right. She got somebody there, like her Auntie Betty. She gonna stay right there with her. She ain't gonna let nothing happen to her. And she gonna stay right there. And she want that baby need, because she gonna tell exactly how she feel. When I tell you the inside of my knee started bothering me, after I got out that shower, Miss Jean got in that shower, Miss Jean came right on in that room and got me all together with my knee. The next morning I was walking. Yeah, Miss Jean treated me good. I'm not gonna lie, I talk about Miss Jean all the time to Tia. And that's why Miss Jean said, I don't want to share a room by myself. I've already had talked to Tia. I said, Miss Jean, come. I said, I need to start looking at a hotel. Because Miss Jean gonna stay in there with me. I told Miss Jean that. I promised her that. I said, if you come back, you got somewhere to stay. Miss Jean, it seemed like we came together. Like we had never ever been apart. I don't take to people like that. I don't. I told my mama that. We didn't know the road. I was going down the wrong road. Miss Jean never said anything to anybody. Miss Jean said, Lisa, get yourself together, baby, and turn this truck around right here in the road. Ain't nothing coming. Miss Jean never got. And I was panicking, but Miss Jean said, no, turn this truck around. We gonna be fine. Just turn it around, because ain't nothing coming. It's night, we don't know our way, and we got to get back to the Airbnb. I thank God for Miss Jean, I did. I called my mama that night when I went in to take a shower. Miss Jean was getting her stuff ready. I said, Mama, I took a wrong road and was going and could have been hit head on. My mama got nervous. I said, but she said that Miss Jean was with you, wasn't she? I said, when that truck got ready to go, Miss Jean said, Lisa, let me get my shoe. I'm coming, baby. I'm not letting you go back by yourself. Miss Jean, for a person I never met, I fell in love with her. And I told Miss Jean, whatever you need, call me. If you ever need anything I can help you, call me, Miss Jean. And I asked her a few months ago, was she going to attend? She said, I don't know. I said, well, Miss Jean, I think I'm getting a room, a hotel room. She said, are you? I said, yeah. She says, Tia, I said, I think Tia going to come up, but Tia got to work. That's right, Miss Bowman. And I said, you can stay with me. Don't worry about it. You come stay with me. We got double beds or whatever, roll away. You can stay in the room with me. You ain't got to worry about nothing. And when I'm saying Miss Jean can stay in the room with me, I'm not saying I'm charging anything. I just want in there till they going to get that a Friday. And I don't want Miss Jean to feel like she got to be in a whole hotel room by herself. I told Miss Jean last year, when we come back next year, you and I going to be together. Miss Jean will tell you, I told her that. And I know Miss Jean had some problem with her water heater, so we hadn't talked. But Miss Jean told me, we got to talk soon, Lisa. And I'm getting ready to book, and I'm still hoping Miss Jean coming up. Because ain't nobody but me and Tia and Miss Jean. We all women. So I don't talk about Miss Jean so much. Tia feel like she know her. I wouldn't dare let Miss Jean come from New York and not treat her like she treated me last year. I wouldn't dare let that happen. And we said it last year when we hugged. When I left, Miss Jean said she left 10 minutes later. And I told Miss Jean, if she come back, I will get a hotel room and we'll both be in that room. Because one thing I do know, when we arrive there, I know I ain't going to be in that room by myself before Tia get there. I know Miss Jean going to be there. If Miss Jean hear anything in my breathing, Miss Jean start talking. Get on that machine. Take that medicine. And I said all that to say this. Why we don't care about people like that no more? Why we can't lend an extending hand to people? But I will say this. Tia daddy that was a good man. Good man. Tia told me many times he was a strict man. But y'all, he was one of the best men I've ever met. Down the earth, this man got all type of property. Tractors, trucks. And he still act like the same person. And he wouldn't let Tia get beside herself. When I tell you, I didn't know what to expect. Miss Jean opened the floodgates. And before we left that night, Miss Jean went in her suitcase. She said, I got something for you. I said, Miss Jean, you gave me 2, 3 things. Miss Jean gave me this lemon maker that the seeds don't have to go in. A beautiful glass one. Tia said, what this here, Doc? I said, it's a lemon maker. She said, it ain't in the kitchen. I said, it's too pretty to be in the kitchen. It's going to be right here with my jewelry. I ain't even got it in the kitchen. And Miss Jean had the type of bras that the former dresses you well. Miss Jean gave me the 2 prettiest ones. She said, I just want to bless you. And I thanked her for them. Never knew I was going to need that bra in a month. You got to give people their flowers while they living. Every time I told Tia Dad how sweet he was, he said, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But he one of the best men you'll ever want to meet. They met Tia one time, Tia Daddy one time, just before graduation all the time. Tia had won a big award. He came in now. Y'all, when I tell you, this man came in there been dressed in anybody. He had on his black jeans, his shirt, the cowboy boots, the matching hat. When Tia came back in my life, I sent Tia that picture. Tia thought I got rid of it. I never got a picture. I never erased a picture of Tia's accomplishments. Because Tia did things Tia didn't think she could do. I told her, girl, you got it all in you. If you had the confidence I got in you, the sky's the limit. Tia held on to every word I said. And right now, and for the last 3, 4 years, Tia makes great money. And it ain't all about money. It's the profession. It's another profession she's always told me she want to try. I'm going to help her get into it. But she's not leaving this profession. Why, dog? Well, when God don't bless you and you're young, and God don't give you what you asked for, and God don't give you a great salary, you thank the Father for it. And then you enroll in a school and take you 1 or 2 classes and keep the blessing he gave you. You don't throw the baby away with the bathwater. I always remember that. And she's bought into it. And she told me, you believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I told you, I said, baby, you're going to do wonderful things. Just don't let nobody direct you, and don't let nobody take you down. And you're going to do whatever you want to do. The next time Tia won something, Tia stay winning stuff. When her daddy walked in there and saw her, he almost cried. I had never, ever seen Tia with her hair down. Tia hair was all down her back. And every bit it was her because she went to my hairstylist. And she told her, don't put a perm in your hair and mess up your hair, baby. And Tia told her, my hair grow best in my ponytail. And she told Tia, no matter what nobody said, don't take that hair out of there because Tia hair constantly growing. Constantly. Tia don't hardly put no heat in her hair. It's just naturally wavy. I never do this, which it wasn't none of my business. I hired her. Everybody wanted her. She was one of the best people I've ever hired. Tia got a promotion before she came to this job. Tia got a big promotion. They called me and interviewed me for 1 hour about her. Tia didn't even know she was getting it. Tia didn't even know they was considered her. And when I did talk back to her, I reached out to her after they interviewed me. And she said, I'm not sure what you're talking about, dog. So when she came back in my life, I said I should have told her, don't give it to her, give it to somebody else. Because when folks don't brought you up, you don't got beside yourself, you don't got in a career, and you don't forgot the bridge that brought you across. She just started laughing. That's all, she just started laughing. And she said they honored me. She didn't even know. They went to a program. She thought she was just in there. And they called her name. Every scholarship it was to one, they gave it to her. She graduated with highest honors. Because she's smart. She's smart. And she told me, I was smart because of you, dog. That's not true. She's smart because she's smart and intelligent. The only thing I had to do was push that confidence in her. Till mother died. And Till didn't care about anything. You go through a stage of depression. Her father moved. He married a witch from hell, in our opinion. And she was tore up about it. Yeah. But she got in a bad relationship. Her father didn't like it. But in the end, before her father left this earth, they were good. And I put that little part on to say, if there's a loved one out there, if there's a child, a mother, a father, a parent, and they hadn't just done any and everything to you, pray and ask God to get you back with them. And don't hold no grudges. We can't hold grudges. And Tia told me, I don't know how I would have felt, dog, if me and my father went on good terms. Till is the baby. Got 2 brothers. He told Till, you the only one got my back. Now come on. Till was a daddy's girl just like me. Till didn't think I thought at first how I ripped her apart when her daddy was gone. But I went through it. I saw the signs. Till come running in the back and closed the door and cried. And Doc went and told. Initially, I gave her a little time. And when I kept seeing the repeated pattern, it was time for the doctor to say something. I'm going to finish with this. oftentimes when children are molested, touched, thinking that they're making love, and they're not. Don't be too embarrassed to go to your child and tell them you love them, and it ain't their fault. And turn around and fight like HELL to get whoever did it punished. And I'm not talking about you doing anything. Let the system work for us. I had to come and get this out. I was not able, but I asked God when Tia was fussing with me, let me get this medicine in me. Let me take it. I knew Tia was just looking out for me. Tia heard the coughing. But I told Tia, I gotta get it out. When anything come against me, I have to do what God say. And he said, get up, take that medicine. Get you something to drink. And go online and tell my people. I know nothing else to do, y'all. I love y'all. God loves you more. I loaded up a 60-minute video. Y'all go look at it and thumbs it up. Let me tell y'all, I truly love you all. The truffle is not just over here, over on Facebook. It's over here too. Thank you, Miss Teresa. Please pray for me. Because your girl is about to start feeling this tightness. But I'm going to get on my breathing machine as soon as I get off of here. If you don't have it, don't put yourself in no strain. Because we still going to love you over here. And we still going to do a few extra drawings just to give something away. I appreciate y'all. I love you. God loves you more. This is Seeing It All, Knowing It, Tia, and we're out for the night.